guys do not look out for each other nearly as much as they should. And I think a lot of this is because you kind of expect your fellow guy to figure it out the way you figured it out as well. But that doesn't make much sense, because why does he have you if he has to figure it out from scratch? It is way easier for you to help a woman, which is not wrong, but it is way easier for you to help a woman in her time of need than for you to help a brother. Whether this is financially or whether this is because your brother is going through some emotional problems or relationship related problems, it is always easier to just brush it off as let him figure it out himself. But put a girl in place of the guy. A guy is willing to go head over heels and do more than he even should, right? And this is worrisome to me. And that is also why I am making this video, because Cenat just did the exact opposite of what so many guys do in friendships nowadays. And I want us to talk about it. You guys know the story of the guy who took his girl to an Omah Lay concert, I think 4 days ago. Then Omah Lay called his girl up to the stage and she kind of twerked on him. They didn't make out necessarily, but I swear to God, that dude got cuckolded in front of thousands of people. That was one of the most embarrassing things ever. There was the aftermath showing the guy walking away in silence and in sadness as well. Well, that guy, after experiencing one of the most embarrassing and disgraceful moments of his life, was just called up, I think 2 or 3 hours ago, by Cenat. He was called up to a stream. He was called up to a 20-woman to 1-man stream where he goes through 20 women and picks the one he likes the most. Now, I feel like it is less necessary for us to talk about the fact that he picks one of the trashiest girls in the lineup. But still, the fact that Kai set that video up, right? Even though he kind of made it look like, he made it look comedic in a way, you can tell that he did that because he knows how that guy feels. You can tell that he had some form of compassion for the dude, right? Because he has probably been in that situation. Because one thing people don't get is a man's life is genuinely sad. Like, if you look at it fundamentally, it is very sad. Once you get to the age of 17 or 18, you figure out that your whole existence, right? For you to be valued as a human being, you need to provide some form of financial benefit to people. If you don't do that, you're almost useless. It is kind of sad, but that's just what it is, right? So that realization, right? I don't think anybody, any man, right, should have to go through that realization without having friends on his side, by his side, right? And that's why I'm making this video, because so many guys, right, you underestimate your importance in your brother's life. You underestimate how much you can ease the burden on your brother's shoulders, right? Kai brought this guy on his stream, got him to find a girl who maybe that doesn't go anywhere, but just relieved the pressure, showed him that, look, you could get other women regardless, right? Sent him $20,000 and increased his social presence by like 2,000%, right? I think he went from maybe 1K followers to like 50K followers, right? And this is a guy who Kai doesn't even know from anywhere. They've never met, before the stream, right? So why can't us as dudes do something similar to our close friends, like our actual friends, right? Why can't we do it? Because I genuinely think there's a reason why guys have a higher suicide rate and lower lifespan than women. And that's because when shit hits the fan, there's that realization that you don't really have anybody to talk to. Nobody's going to dig you out of this hole that you dug yourself into. Right? You're alone. If women have issues, right? Men have issues, women have issues. But when a woman is going through problems, there are people to talk to. Her parents, her sisters, her friend group, and other men as well. These men don't even have to be in a relationship with her for them to help financially or emotionally, right? But with men, it's like, where do you look, right? And it's just tough, man. It's just tough. If you have a friend group, a group of guys, dude, you need to be there for your brother. Like, you don't have to give him all the money in the world, but there's just this restraint where you almost don't want to give your fellow dudes money because you expect them to go get it. Where do you expect them to get it from, right? Your little inputs could be all they need to start up something fruitful, flourishing, right? But we just don't do that as men. Like, you just watch your fellow guys struggle. And there is just this very primal aspect of man where you just feel way more sympathy for women than men, right? But sometimes I feel like as a man, you should be able to sit down and put yourself in your fellow man's shoes. If you are able to do that, then you can experience whatever pain that guy is experiencing, right? And understand how a little help can go a long way. Kai doing this is very cool, man. Like, it is unbelievably cool. Like, I commend him a lot. I think every guy watching this should learn from him, man. Like, it seems like nothing, but if you watch the stream, even the dude's face, the dude looked kind of, not necessarily heartbroken per se, but the whole thing was awkward for him. Like, you could tell that he wasn't in a happy place. You could tell from the stream, right? And Kai did his bit, you feel me? Kai did his bit. Now, you don't have to be extremely soft and extremely feminine when you have these conversations with your brothers or when you try to help a brother out. We have ways of communicating as men where we kind of make jokes about everything. But at the end of the day, the underlying theme should be you trying to help your brother. You can do this by making jokes. However you want to do it is fine. But the underlying theme has to be, how do I get this dude out of this mess he finds himself in, whether it is relationship wise or more importantly financially, right? Because I'm saying this like from personal experience. Dudes don't help other dudes out with money. And it's insane because at the end of the day, a man's money in general is everybody's money. So when you help your friend with money, right, he either puts it into something that multiplies it, or he uses it to help himself and people around him. So this is not money that he's just going to eat and come and beg you the next day, right? But when you help girls with money, I'm not saying don't help girls with money. I'm saying it is most likely going to go into something personal, handbags, wigs, right? So I'm not saying don't help women, but I'm saying the fact that it is way easier to help women than men doesn't even make any logical sense. Like, obviously, like I said, it is a part of our primal nature to want to do that. But I'm saying if you can really sit down and think about the fact that this man you're giving this money to is going to put it to way better use, I don't think we should be that stingy with our brothers, man. That's just how I see it. Kai doing this is very commendable. Any guy who watched the stream, right? I think that should kind of motivate us a little bit more, because I have seen so much neglect when it comes to our brothers' well-being. So big ups to Kai. He's a real one for that, and I hope we all learn from this, man. I hope we learn from this. And then about the girl who, went up to Omah Lay. What I would say is, I get how like women love status. There's nothing wrong with that. It is in their nature to love men who have status. But I'm saying the fact that your boyfriend was in the crowd, right, and you felt that comfortable to go on stage and hold it up like that, dude. I don't know, man. That's just what dating is in 2024. Like, you have to be careful who you pick. But then at the same time, no matter how much you vet, you can't really know everything about the person. Like, she could just one day completely embarrass you like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. The point is, when shit like this goes down, you need to be there for your brothers.